It's one of the more familiar parables in the Gospels. Its lesson is clear to us. I'd like to dwell more about the scholar of the law who asked the questions that led to the parable. Right? This particular question is, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What must I do to inherit eternal life? One might say there's a kind of a selfish motive. Right? He wants to secure his future, even past earthly life. So what must I do? It goes against everything that Jesus would later teach. Right? Eternal life is not for us to earn. It is a gift from God. Okay? It's not what I must do. What should I allow God to do in me? Really, it's not. You have to let go of controlling our faith or the living out of our faith, but to really just listen and pay attention to what God calls us. In the end, He knows the answer, right? Love God with all of who you are and love your neighbor as yourself. He knows that answer. Jesus, in another part of the gospel, says this is the summary of the law, right? And it seems, because he asks the following question, that he seems that he has a difficulty with the second part. Huh? Who is my neighbor? And then we hear the parable. In the end, the question is proposed for what one might say selfish motives. And Jesus says, well, the answer lies in being selfless. You'll have to be concerned about your neighbor. It is very human to want things for ourselves, even noble things like self-preservation, right? We want to preserve our lives, and so we defend it. When the noble thing to do is to preserve the life of others, even to the point of giving up our own lives. That's on a human level. On the level of faith, it is also the same. Jesus gave his life for our sake. St. Paul later in his own ministry will realize this, that he is compelled to preach the gospel, not because of any gain that he gets from it, but because he understood how God has been good to him. God has shown him mercy. And this is the response he wants to give. Not because there's a prize waiting for it at the end, although in some of his writings he seems to refer to a prize. But really in the end, we try to live good Christian lives because Christ has died for us. Our God has been good to us. Eternal life, that is extra. It's a big extra, but it's extra. It's not what we work for. We are good because God is good.